Hi, this is Phil Spencer, and you're listening to the Inner Circle Podcast, for the fans, by the fans.
Welcome to the Inner Circle Podcast, the premier podcast for Xbox One. I'm your host, KRSKL, with Anchorman V.
Hey, everybody.
And unfortunately, our other two guys, B Money 101 and Skittles 1323, aren't here today. But we do have a guest, Fame Entertainment 2K from We Game here.
What's going on, people? Fame Entertainment here from the official WeGameHere.com. Make sure you guys check out the channel. You guys can catch everything about me on our website. You can also catch me every Monday on the Multiverse podcast. Thank you guys so much for having me on today.
Yeah, no problem, brother. And today we're going to be chatting about what's happening in the game world. Now, do understand it is a very, very slow week when it comes to news. Everything has released. Everything is out in the open. There are some questions that people still want answered when it comes to the new Xbox One experience. I will chat about that on Super Pod Shots. But in the meantime, let's talk about what's hot and what's out right now. Fallout 4 and Tomb Raider Rise of the Tomb Raider. These are two games that have both launched. They are critically acclaimed. Both have improved tremendously on their predecessors. And even though I'm not playing Fallout 4 right now, I have been highly impressed with Tomb Raider, and I have heard wonderful things about Fallout 4. So, Anchor, obviously you're into Fallout 4. I've heard some things from my boys. One of the cool things about it is that you can build your own, I guess you could say, fort in your own city into a certain extent and move it and place it anywhere you want to, which is really, really cool thing that they have implemented into the game. Let's chat about it for a bit. Tell us what's going on with the game and what is your feeling on this new entry?
So far with Fallout 4, and I've said this for months at this point, that Fallout 4 is the Skyrim of the Fallout franchise. It is the most accessible entry point into the series. If you've never played a Fallout game, this is a very good game to get involved on. It really is. But they added a lot of new stuff, especially for people who are new to the franchise or even people who are returning to the franchise. And so for example, you can do this building aspect. You can go into multiple places. And it's not just one or two areas. It's actually quite a few. I think at this point in time, I've discovered maybe 8 or 9. And I know for a fact I have not found all the settlements yet you can build things at. There are a lot of stuff with varying degrees of what you can do. Like some places, you're on the waterfront. You can clear out a drive-in theater and use that area, but they all have like certain benefits and certain cons. Like the drive-in theater is all flat paved land, so there's not a lot of area to grow crops or anything, and so you can't. It's really just kind of a waste of time trying to build any food there. So I mean, like there's pros and cons to it, and it's really, really in depth. You can do like internal wiring for stuff, like to build up lighting inside people's houses and stuff. It's really kind of impressive. I've been having a great time with it, and I think everyone else will too. And it's been pulling in those numbers. That 12 million already in the first day.
That is very impressive. The 12 million is an amazing number. You could tell that this is one of the most anticipated games people have been waiting for. And it so far seems like it has lived up to every single review that has come out for it, and easily why it's one of the contenders for Game of the Year. Fame, what is your thoughts?
Well, me personally, I have zero playing time with anything that has to do with Fallout, But from everything that I am hearing, I hear a lot from the Anchorman V. Sometimes we go in parties and we just talk, and he just lets me know what's going on with the game. And he can go on and on and days for talking about Fallout 4. But everything I have seen and everything that I've been hearing. The game sounds absolutely amazing. It seems like this huge, vast open world that you can easily plug 500 hours into, and it would take your soul out of your body and your life away from your family and your children. And I think that's great. I think a game like this is a game that kind of quiets the community a little bit, you know, with a lot of negative and things like that going on. A game like this really sits everyone down, and they really get to dig into this game, and I really can't wait to get my hands on it.
You know, it's exactly the reason why I don't want to play it, because I have a wife and I have a son.
You have a wife and son on Fallout 4.
That's another family I won't be able to take care of if I'm playing the game, and that's something that I can't do right now. I do plan on playing it probably at the end of the month, starting end of the month, maybe December, and going into January, into the new year. But you know, for me, Tomb Raider has grabbed my attention, and I cannot literally put my controller down. First of all, the game is beautiful. It's a gorgeous game. The set pieces are really great, and the authenticity of the character and how she seems human, how she seems real is really great. The way she shivers in the cold, the way she talks when she's in the water, you know, it's just really, really great the way they designed the game overall. And when you go exploring, you really feel like you're exploring. It's not like, okay, you've gone into this tomb or this crypt area, you have to get into this gunfight to get to this particular area. No, you're literally exploring, looking out for traps, trying to find ways to get to the highest point or get to this ancient artifact or tomb. And when you eventually get there, unlike the first game, you get rewarded with ancient abilities. These abilities that help you through the course of the game, whether it's survival skills, combat skills. It's just really thought out. The acting is great. The voice acting is absolutely 10 out of 10, without question. There's so much dialogue and so many items in the game that you get to pick up that gives you backstory or history on what's happening now with the enemies and the soldiers in the environment, as well as the backstory of what's happening with this character, the Prophet, and the people that are chasing him and what's being set up. Is a really, really, really good game. I'm telling you right now, I don't know how this game is not up for contender on the Game Awards for Game of the Year. It really should be up there. I'm not saying it should win, but it should definitely be in there, in my opinion, over Metal Gear Solid 5. And I know that's kind of harsh, and I know most people might not agree with it, but I really believe that Tomb Raider should have been in over Metal Gear Solid 5. I just think that people neglected it because it's Metal Gear Solid 5 and it's Konami's and Kojima's last game. But it's really good.
I definitely have to agree with you there, where it's Tomb Raider feels like it got snubbed in particular, where I don't know why Tomb Raider didn't get nominated at least. It seemed, from everything I've seen, it looks like a great game, and people are really having a good time with it. And it might be something that, like, if it was like partisan politics,
right?
Because Game Awards shows are really, it's very political. There's a lot of reason, like picking and choosing. Like I think Bloodborne and Mario Maker are only included because, oh yeah, these were exclusive games, and everyone's gonna get mad if we don't include them.
It's a possibility. I mean, you could be. I don't want to say Jeff Keighley's playing favorites. It's his show. He's a friend of the show. A lot of people believe he's a pony. I have no issues with Jeff Keighley. He's been great to Tic Podcast, and he was very supportive and helpful for us when we were at E3. But at the same time, I did hit him up, and I did comment and say, you know, there was one thing about the Game Awards that I didn't like, and I'm going to get into that. So obviously, as you just heard, the Game Awards games that will be up for Game of the Year was just announced. Those games happen to be Metal Gear Solid 5, Bloodborne, Witcher 3, Mario Maker, and Fallout 4. And those are all amazing titles, without question. I don't have a PlayStation 4, but I know Bloodborne is critically acclaimed. And it was one of the highest rated exclusives released this year, as well as the others. In my opinion, I don't think any exclusive will win. It's probably going to go to Fallout 4 more than likely. But I still believe Tomb Raider should have been involved with that. Prior to that, though, in my opinion, I really have no issue with what they announced for Game of the Year, and so many Xbox fans do.
Honestly, a lot of the games that Xbox had this year, and this has just been a symptom over the last 2 years, the exclusives Xbox put out, on the whole, are good, very good games. Like Metacritic wise, they always score in the 80s range. Like I can't think of a game that, like at least a AAA game that scored anything lower than maybe an 80. I really can't. But at the same time, we haven't had that game where like this is the definitive game,
right?
No matter what, and then we just haven't had that game yet. And I just that's my thoughts when it comes to with Xbox. Like PlayStation, what they do is they put out a bunch of different games, and you might have a really poor game like The Order 1886, but then you might hit that lucky one like Bloodborne that scores very high.
Right.
And Nintendo, they just don't put out anything until it's a Mario game, then it scores a 90 and everyone cares again.
Yeah, Anchor, you hit the nail right on the head. I don't think people, as far as Xbox fans, should feel slighted when it comes to Game of the Year. Like Anchor said, Xbox normally puts out really, really good games. You know, games that score in the, you know, mid to high 80s, sometimes low 80s. They constantly put out good games. It's just they haven't had that great one. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed Halo 5. It was absolutely a fun game for me. I'm still playing it now, but it wasn't great. And I'm hoping that in 2016 with the lineup that games that we're going to see, that you can see that great title. Like the people shouldn't feel slighted. People shouldn't feel upset because Xbox has an incredible lineup. It has an incredible lineup of games, very fun for anyone to enjoy. They just haven't had that great title, one that's critically acclaimed, 90, 192 and above. Will it happen? I hope so. But has it happened? It hasn't happened yet. But I think that's what it's missing. But to no slight to Xbox or Xbox fans, it is still a really, really good lineup.
You know something? I feel like, first of all, I feel like Forza Horizon 2 should have been that great game. I thought that game was absolutely amazing. From the soundtrack to the open world to just the game overall it's just a beautiful game. It really is. And they did a great job with it. Like all the technical things that they did with it, they included into the game, the weather effects, the DLC packs. They did a great job with that game, and I really felt like that should have been a contender for Game of the Year last year. Obviously, this year, Microsoft has put up some really awesome games, a lot of games that people enjoy. And like I said, I felt like Tomb Raider should have been Game of the Year. Now that's a multi-plat, but right now it's an exclusive for Microsoft, and it was published by Microsoft and funded by Microsoft. So that game is really Crystal Dynamics' vision, but without Microsoft, the game that we're playing today would not exist. It would be a different game completely, and that is a 100% fact. At the same time, I truly, truly love Halo. I really did. I finished the game finally. I have so much to talk about with Halo on Super Pod Shots, and I will give everybody my opinions on the campaign. But I really love the game a lot, and I felt like it could have been a Game of the Year contender with the multiplayer and everything. But listen, overall, when I look at what they have for the Game of the Years, I don't have a problem with it because all those games are critically acclaimed. They all sold well, and they all made a lot of people happy. And I just don't see how a game like Halo, with its, I guess you could say it's mixed reviews and it's up and down, and people want more Chief, or people didn't care for Chief, or people, wanted all these different things, could be up for Game of the Year. It just had too much going on. It just wasn't unanimous enough for, I guess, to be in that discussion, though I thought Tomb Raider was. So I don't have a problem with it. So a lot of Xbox fans did. What I did have a problem with was the most anticipated games that's to come out. And this is the thing that's blowing my mind right now. The most anticipated games that's supposed to be at the Game Awards is No Man's Sky, Horizon Zero Dawn, The Last Guardian, Uncharted 4, and Quantum Break. Now, I have no problems with Horizon. In my opinion, Horizon is my most anticipated game for PlayStation 4. It's something that I look forward to. It looks innovative. It looks fun. It's open world. It's an RPG. It has everything that I want in the game. Uncharted's Uncharted. Make it Uncharted. The most anticipated game is like saying Halo 5 is the most anticipated game. You know what I'm saying? Like it really falls in line with that. But I guess you have people really anticipated Uncharted 4. But at the end of the day, you have No Man's Sky, and you have The Last Guardian. And I just don't see how those two games get in over Crackdown, which is finally bringing what everybody has been joking about, hyping up, or just overall want to know more of cloud technology with Crackdown. In this world where everything is destructible, 100% destruction across the entire multiplayer world. This game is like one of the most anticipated games. Even if it flops, it's still the most anticipated game because people want to know if it works. Does it work? How does it work? How will it play? This is like a super anticipated game. So is Quantum Break, and so is Scalebound. But I can see why Scalebound might not make it. It's my most anticipated, but I just don't see how Crackdown or Scalebound does not get in there over No Man's Sky and The Last Guardian.
You're right when it comes to Horizon, because it is one of my most anticipated games of any platform as top three, as far as my anticipated game. Horizon should definitely be there. You're definitely right about Uncharted. I don't see why Uncharted's there, because if you're going to be anticipated, for Uncharted, you should have been really most anticipated for Halo 5. It's another game in the series. I get it's supposed to be the last one. I just don't get it there. No Man's Sky has absolutely no place being in that list. Unfortunately, that's how I feel. It has no place being in there. Now, what should be there, what game that was missing out, you hit the nail on the head. Even though you say it's not, you don't think it should be there, but Scalebound. Mm-hmm. Scalebound looks absolutely amazing. It's the type of game that people have been clamoring for the Xbox One. People always say how Xbox isn't as diverse as other consoles.
Right.
Well, here's this game with a great team behind it, with people that can give you out a great game. Just looking at what we saw at Gamescom, it looks great, it looks fun, it looks new, it looks fresh, something that we haven't seen with these huge creatures going around you can control. This game should have been there along with Quantum Break.
Right.
Crackdown, I get why it's not there, for some people with the same reasons that I'm saying about Uncharted and Halo. It's another game in the series. Though it is bringing a new technology, it's another game in the series. You somewhat know what to expect from the gameplay, at least. I know that the technology is new, but from the gameplay, you somewhat know what to expect. When I think about most anticipated, I think about things we have not seen. Brand new games that we see and we saying, oh crap, there's my $60. No doubt. That's new.
Right.
That's happening. Quantum Break, Horizon, Scalebound, ROTR. Even though I've only seen the CGI trailer, games like that to me should be the most anticipated. Things we don't know much about, but look absolutely amazing.
I agree.
I don't know. I disagree with all of you.
Wow.
I think the games that have been shown so far, I think they have certain aspects of why they're being chosen. Like No Man's Sky. I've been following No Man's Sky before they even said it was going to be a PlayStation thing. The team that's been involved, they've gone through a lot of stuff together. Mm-hmm. They went through a flood. They lost everything. They restarted. And I want to see them put out the game. I'm anticipating it simply because of the dev team behind it. I want them to succeed. I want them to get past it because they have a very ambitious game.
Right.
On the other hand, the games you guys talked about, I don't see as particularly like, oh, this was absolutely amazing. Like ROTR, we saw a trailer, and I just don't believe in trailers anymore. Mm-hmm. It's like fairy dust to me. Okay. Like you can show me a trailer for a great game, but until I see gameplay, that game doesn't exist.
I agree.
I honestly, the only game I watched all of E3, I watched Gamescom, I watched all these events, and the only game where everybody collectively was like having a great time watching it and really wanted to play it was Doom.
Really?
Everybody I was at a party when we were all watching it. We had all 8 people in there, and everybody who watched Doom as they were going, they were gasping and going, oh my gosh, I want to see this. Oh man, this is so awesome. Everybody was freaking out about that game, and for that game not to be put on that list is a travesty.
I have no feelings for Doom whatsoever. Like I literally was at E3 and watched Doom up close. And I have no feelings for Doom. It's not that I have anything against Doom, but it's Doom. It's almost like it's Uncharted. It's like it's Halo. It's Doom. Though graphically, it's a big improvement in the direction that they're taking it, but I still feel like it's Doom. I just felt like, and I agree with Scalebound. The only reason why I feel like Scalebound couldn't be most anticipated is because Xbox guys don't like, or I won't say they don't like, but a lot of Xbox guys don't like Japanese RPGs. And we know this because of sales. However, there is a strong niche fan base there, which I am including myself in, and a few other people that I know that really adore and love the Japanese RPG games that do and did come to 360 and will be coming to the Xbox One. So Scalebound is huge. And I think Scalebound is taking the best of both worlds of East and West and trying to combine them to make a new type of genre for Japanese developers. And I really hope it's successful. I really do, because this game is not supposed to be just one game. It's supposed to be a series. But the reason why I say Crackdown is because Crackdown will be the type of game that could possibly make gaming history. You don't get those games very often. This will be the first game on consoles that uses cloud processing and using it to have a environment that is 100% destructible. Something that Microsoft initially wanted with their first vision. When they first came out, they wanted a system that was online all the time, meaning that cloud could have been in every single game that we have been getting or will be getting in the future. We could have had, cloud in Gears 4. We could have had cloud in Quantum Break. Who knows what those things could have done, because those games would be online all the time. So it would just be, in effect, a part of every game. So Crackdown is really something where it's like a make or break. And a lot of people have been talking about it. Let me tell you how crazy Crackdown is. The cloud talk with Crackdown is so crazy. The PlayStation fanboys flipped their whole thought process and said it's possible on PlayStation 2. That's how crazy. They went from saying everything that Xbox does is in the clouds and cloud is a joke and cloud is not real to saying PlayStation can do it too. That's how serious this game is and how it must succeed, and why I think it should be in there as one of the most anticipated games. But, there's a committee on there. That's what Jeff Keighley said. And he said Phil Spencer's on the board, man. I just think he might be the only Xbox guy on there voting for his own games.
That's pretty typical. Like last year, I looked at the board, and they always pick they have one Xbox executive, they have one PlayStation executive, and they have one Nintendo executive. They always try to split it up, at least make it as even keel as possible. And talking about the Game of the Year candidates so far, we got not Tomb Raider's on the list, but we got Metal Gear Solid 5, we got Fallout 4, Witcher 3, we have Mario Maker and Bloodborne. Mm-hmm. Those games, I can tell you straight up right now, Bloodborne and Mario Maker are not going to win.
Yeah, they won't.
It's just not going to happen. They were included out of courtesy. It was just a nice thing to do, and it was to get everybody on board with that. Then the real competition is between Fallout 4, Witcher 3, and Metal Gear Solid 5. But I even believe that Metal Gear Solid 5, and I really, really loved Metal Gear Solid 5. I really enjoyed it, but that's not going to win Game of the Year. The only way it'll win, though, is because, we feel bad for Kojima because it was his last Metal Gear game. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much the only reason it will ever win. And at this point, it's between Witcher 3 or Fallout 4, and either one I'm personally fine with.
Yeah. Well, we'll see come December. Do we have a date on when the Game Awards is supposed to be on?
I don't remember.
I think it's December 12th. I don't know. I'll get the right date out there on the next pod shot. And that way, we'll be chatting about it, and we'll do our own award show like we did last year. And we'll look at some of the games we played across the board this time, not just Xbox. We'll get some guys on here that have Nintendo Wii U's and also PlayStation 4s, and we'll do our own voting process to see how that turns out for Game of the Year rewards, which would be really dope. I think would be really cool.
Fame, real quick, Fame, what are your thoughts on Game of the Year? Who do you think is going to win?
Fallout 4. Due to me, I thought it would be between Fallout 4 and Witcher 3. I just don't see an exclusive winning it. and I was bored out of my mind with The Witcher 3. So Fallout 4, though I haven't played it by default.
Yeah. I haven't played Fallout 4 yet, so I really can't say. Right now, Tomb Raider is my game of the year, and I haven't even beaten the game. But I think once I get my hands on Fallout 4, knowing the RPG guy I am, it'll probably go with Fallout as well. Hopefully, because I'm a Skyrim guy, so hopefully it gives me that same
This
nostalgia.
is very Skyrim-y.
Gotcha.
It's really open.
Gotcha.
Just to throw this in, I'm sorry. Just to throw this in, if I had to choose game of the year, the game of the year for me didn't even come out this year. Came out in 2013. South Park Stick of Truth. I'm just gonna throw that in there.
You and these Compat games. We'll get to that in a minute. Listen, Microsoft has been talking about the greatest lineup in Xbox history. Some people feel that they were just hyping up their own games and it wasn't the greatest lineup. Some people feel like it was. I think Microsoft did a great job this holiday season. I don't think it was their greatest lineup in history. I think next year may be their greatest lineup in history with those IPs, and then you have Gears 4 at the end of the year, and as well as a new game from Rare, which is impressive. But at the same time, this year they had included a game no one's talking about, a game that suddenly just disappeared from all advertisement, all images. Is Fable Legends. Where the hell is Fable Legends? Like, Fable Legends was supposed to be coming out, I believe, next month, or it was like the end of the year or something like that. And now the rumor is that it's been pushed back to 2016. Now, this thing has been in beta forever. Like, this thing has been in beta since it was created. That's how it feels. And suddenly, we're not hearing anything about it. It's not being promoted. You don't see it on commercials. You don't see anybody talking about it. Fable is gone. Fame, what is going on with Fable?
Well, I've been in this forever long beta as well, and from the beginning to where it is now, the game has made vast improvements. And in all honesty, I'm one of the people where if a game gets pushed back, I'm all for it. You know, if I'm gonna spend $60 for a game, I want it to release perfectly. I don't want any issues.
Right.
This is a free to play. This is a free to play. Release it.
Right.
Release it and fix it along the way.
Right.
That's just how I feel about it. I mean, I know we're not really supposed to talk about, you know, the game because it's in beta, but the game it's okay to release the game. Now I know there's something going on with the game that's above our pay grade that we don't know about. Obviously, right. It's something above our pay grade. But if they can release the game, release the game. It's not like you're charging people $60 and you're gonna release something that's broken. You know, if it's playable, release it and fix it along the way. There's plenty of games that come out and have day one patches, day 3 patches, and people pay $60 for those. For a free to play, go ahead and release. I don't see any reason besides, something that's, like I said, above my pay grade for this game to be pushed back so far and to be been in beta for so long. We have so many people playing it, and the people who are playing it, everyone's saying the same thing. They're having fun with it. The game is absolutely beautiful. It looks great. Mm-hmm. Apparently there's something technical going on, but just release the game, Microsoft. Release it now, not in 2016, and just fix it along the way.
Yeah.
For me, I'm in this category of people where because it was put off so long, I have lost all interest in it. I'm just like, I really don't care anymore because they put it off so long. Part of it was also how the beta was handled. For people who were waiting in the beta, I signed up day one. I waited, and then I kept getting emails like I was in the beta. I kept asking other people, like, hey, are you guys in the beta? I'm like, no. Are you? It's like, no, not me either. And it was like, well, you're getting messages too, right, about this beta, right? I was like, yeah, I'm getting messages about it. And I'm like, so wait, all of us are not in the beta, but we're being treated like we were. And eventually when I did get into the beta, it was like, oh, you have to play at 4:30 in the morning. I'm like, no. I'm not playing at 4:30 in the morning just to test this game. Wow. And just they lost me along the way, and the longer they wait, the more they're gonna lose people.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm a big Fable guy. I love Fable 2. It's one of my favorite Fables. I know a lot of people dislike Fable 3. I thought it was okay. I thought it was a little bit short. And now they're taking a different approach with this MOBA type Fable co-op grouped up type game. And I like the approach. I haven't played it. I'm in the beta. I haven't even played it yet. I really haven't. And I really want the game to be a success. I want to enjoy the game. I liked it. I kind of like the cast of characters that they've built in the game. My question is, what is going on with the game where they're not talking about it anymore? Remember, this game is supposed to be Microsoft's first DX12 title. The game is not built, and I want to make this clear. This game is not built from the ground up on DX12. It will be a DX12 port. Okay, so don't go into thinking, oh my God, this game came out and all the Xbox fans have been hyping up DX12 and look at this game, it looks like garbage or whatever. This is not a game built from DX12 from the ground up. This is a port. And we've been waiting for the new Xbox One experience to come out because this has now given the Xbox One the DX12 update. So games that are DX12 will now be compatible with the Xbox One. And this is supposed to be the first game. I think they're working on porting it to DX12 for the Xbox One. That's what I think. And I think that's why they're no longer talking about it. And they may be having trouble doing it. Because I remember when they showed this game off at what is the electronic show in the beginning of the year? GDC. I remember when they showed it at GDC, and Phil Spencer talked about how the game was 900p running on DX11, and when they ported it, it went up to 1080p. Now, that was the PC build. But my thing is, I wonder how much of that is true for the Xbox One, because the game is being built to be crossplay between PC and Xbox One. And if it up-reses on PC and it has DX12, if you're going from DX11 to DX12 on the Xbox One, would that not up-res it as well on the Xbox One? So I'm just wondering these things. We don't know what's happening with Fable. This is all speculation. Of course, this is a rumor that has been pushed back to 2016. But you just have to question what's happening with Fable. Where's it at and why no one's talking about it? I will dig a little bit, reach out to some of my connects over at Microsoft and see if I can get any news on it. I probably won't, but it's at least worth a try. So Microsoft obviously dropped the new Xbox One experience. I know a lot of people are loving that, and I will chat about that on Super Pod Shots. But the great thing about it is backwards compatibility, and you have some people that have really enjoyed it, and you have some people that feel like it was overhyped. 100 games, and most of the games aren't what people wanted. Obviously, there are some games that I am looking forward to playing again, and I'm happy that they have returned. And there's more games coming out next year. Next month, they're coming out with BioShock 2 and BioShock Infinite, as well as a few Halo games, including Halo Reach. So that is a plus, and I'm pretty sure they will have more games coming. But do you guys think that Compat is living up to expectations, or will it just be forgotten over time? Anchor.
Backwards compatibility is an interesting beast because it's a method primarily to win people over to buying an Xbox One who are stuck on 360. I don't think backwards compatibility was ever really considered to be, this is in replacement of other games, or this is supposed to win you over in the meantime. I don't think it was supposed to be intended that way. Now, so using that as a key to this, I don't think that backwards compatibility is going to be like this super supported thing. It might be something that they just do for, for 360 guys, or they might do it for Games with Gold just to boost up something else. But I don't see it as being this super awesome thing they're going to support until the end of time. I just don't see it that way.
A couple of points here. Number one, hats off to Microsoft because they just showed the world why they are the best software company on the planet. Something that we thought, and they thought could not be done, they did it. So hats off to them. Incredible job doing this, number one. Number two, for the people who are put back on the initial launch games, you guys should just pump the brakes just a little bit because Microsoft is a smart company for a reason. For example, look at what they did with Fallout 4. You buy Fallout 4, guess what? Hey, we'll give you Fallout 3 for free. Hey, go get Gears, the Gears
Ultimate Collection, Ultimate Edition.
Ultimate Edition will give you 1, 2, 3 and Judgment for free. If you go buy Just Cause 3, we'll give you Just Cause 2 for free, and so forth. They're going to continue to do this. I can see down the line, we get games like Quantum Break or, Alan Wake 2. We'll get the original Alan Wake for free. There's still a lot of games. The last gen, the 7th gen lasted a long time. There's no way everyone played every single game. And so if they can give you a game last gen you thought was interesting, but you didn't get it at the time or you didn't have the money to get it, they give it to you for free. In addition to the newest game that's out, that's absolutely amazing. I think that's a smart marketing move by Microsoft. It's absolutely genius. It's an incentive for you to buy that game, especially if it's a multiplayer. You're going to buy that game on the Xbox. You're going to get another game with it for absolutely free. And speaking of the games that are on there, there's some gems on there. NBA Jam on Fire Edition, absolutely fun game. South Park: The Stick of Truth. I get to play that game back in 2013. I went and bought it soon the day the backward compatibility was released. I bought it and I've been playing it nonstop since then. Great game. I think backward compatibility, I can see it being bigger going forward because, like I said, it's going to give people a reason. Hey, this is a multiplayer. I'm going to give you 2 games, not 1, for the price of $60. Buy it on this console. Absolutely smart, brilliant move by Microsoft.
I think it's a great incentive for people to cross over to the Xbox One from 360. I also think it's a great marketing move, like you said, by Microsoft. I really believe that a lot of people want Alan Wake. We won't get Alan Wake until either Quantum Break or Alan Wake 2 comes out. I really believe that. I really believe we won't get Red Dead Redemption until Red Dead Redemption 2 is announced and it releases with Red Dead Redemption. Like, Microsoft has a plan. And you also have to remember, they're not going to give you every AAA game that you vote for because some of those games will be games with gold. So for the people who own them, you'll be able to play the games, but then the people who don't own them will also get them for free. And that's a really great incentive in itself. You're getting 4 games a month, and all 4 games work on one console. And that's big. Not only does it work on one console, it works on one console with that console's DVR features. From Upload Studio to Twitch streaming, it's a really cool incentive. And, I look forward to more games coming out like Stick of Truth. Hopefully they put Skyrim on there, and I'll be able to continue my 200 hours worth of gameplay that I have put into Skyrim, as well as Fallout 3 is on there. I actually have Fallout 3 right now, so that is something that I'm looking forward to playing after I play Fallout 4 and get familiar with the Fallout series. So we'll see what happens in the future. I do know that they came out and said that they are going to have some big things happening next year with the operating system, with the UI. And it's going to be just as big as back compat and just as big as the update. So I don't know what that could be. I have no idea what that could be. That could be OG Xbox games. That could be background music, which I don't really think background music is that big of a deal. But to a lot of people, it is. A lot of people want background music without it being snapped. So that's it for our show this week, man. I really appreciate Fame for coming on the show. Fame, when is your next episode will be releasing?
My next episode it's kind of been put on hold right now. I've been really focused on the Multiverse podcast because I've been doing my show every Monday, my one-on-ones, and I've kind of put it on hold, mainly because due to co-hosting the Multiverse podcast. But that will be back fairly soon. As soon as I know, I'll put it out on Twitter, and then my followers definitely will know.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Anchor, we already know about the Multiverse podcast, but when is your next regular show going to be released?
The Multiverse podcast is done. That is the next show that will be coming out. It is done at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Mondays. I believe this week we're doing Star Wars Battlefront is the launch game we will be discussing. as well as a few other topics, and it should be a great show.
Cool. Obviously, I will have a Super Pod shot releasing sometime this week, as well as hopefully the Mike Ybarra interview, which you guys will be able to listen to soon. I get a chance to chat with him about a few things people are interested to know about, like DX12. Can we get OG Xbox games, background music, a few other things that people had concerns about. We'll see what Mike Ybarra has to say and what we can expect in the future for the Xbox One user interface. We'll be back in 2 weeks as usual to check out another episode of Tic Podcast, and you keep it locked every week for my show, Super Pod Shots. Really appreciate everybody stopping in, listening to the show, and checking us out on iTunes, Apple, Windows, as well as YouTube. We love you guys, and we are off this planet. Peace.
For the fans, by the fans.